Hi guys, welcome back. Episode 11 with me and Kevin. And today we've got another special guest, Denis. Thank you for coming down.
Thank you guys for having me.
So if you don't know about Denis is a fully qualified referee, referees in the Harrow Youth League. So we'll let him explain his story himself. So Denis, just give us a little explanation of what you do.
So basically I'm a referee level 6 going to level 5. Recently promoted. Now I'm going for a promotion again, for a double promotion hopefully. Been refereeing for 5 years. Been in and out of the Harrow Youth League. Done adult leagues as well, refereed. Yeah, pretty much for the last 5 years.
For the people watching that don't know the levels, do you want to explain the levels?
Yeah, of course. You start at level 7, and then the lower you go, the more experienced you are, and the more likely you'll be refereeing in the Premier League. So Premier League has 7 different levels, from level 7 to level 1. If you get to level 1, you are UEFA referee, and you are a world referee as well as Premier League and other competitions recognizable.
Because I don't know what level do you have to be for, like, to get into maybe like League 2, League 1?
League 2, League 1, you have to be a level 3 or under. So you have to be a level 3, 2 and anywhere there. Okay. They do take you as level 4, however they will most likely use you as a linesman.
Okay.
So once you get to level 4, you've got different pathways. So you're gonna be middle referee, or you can do the lines referee.
Okay.
Okay, good. Yeah, so that's a little explanation for the people that didn't know about the levels that are there. So tell us, how do you plan your Sunday for refereeing for a kids' youth game of football?
So majority of the planning is done by the league, majority of it. However, the other aspects of it is by myself. So I get different teams contacted me, same as a team where you want to organize a game. They contact me, they say, are you available at this time, this place, and then so on. And then if I'm available, I'll say yes to them. If not, then I'll say sorry, I can't make it this week, and so on.
What? How do you approach like a game? So let's say you've coached. Coach refereed in my games before.
Yeah.
Do you look forward to dealing with that age group, like under 12s? Is there certain things that you do allow, like you're not as serious as it would be with an under 16 game, for example?
Well, that's 2 parts to that. First part is that I approach every single game the same same way. Sorry for that. With my eyes closed. I do not know the team. I'm not there to make friends. I'm there to do my job. Simple as that. If I approach the game saying, for example, your team is at the top of the league, whereas Michael's team is at the bottom, then it won't be fair, because I'll be sort of biased without me being biased.
Yeah.
It wouldn't make sense to you.
Yeah.
So if I don't know the league position, it will sort of help me, because I'm not aware who's winning, who's not. The managers might come up to me and say, just to let you know, this is a very important game. I've had a few of them. This is a very important game. We're going for the league, blah, blah. I'm being honest with you. I'll be sorry, but it doesn't involve me. I'm just here for my game. I'm here for the ref and so on. But apart from that, the younger you get, the more lenient you are. However, very crucial with me is foul throws, penalty kicks, these kind of stuff are very important, because if you don't know how to do a foul throw under 13s, under 12s, under 10s or 11s, then sorry, you shouldn't be playing football. Simple as that. Because when are you going to learn? Under 10s and underwards, then cool, you can make a little bit of an excuse saying they're still developing, but as soon as they hit to under 11s and upwards, then you should know how to take a foul throw. You should know how to outside penalty kicks, these kind of stuff, very important.
Yeah, I think even though you say that, it's so. I watch games on the 12s, on the 13s, on the 14s. There's still so many foul throws, and you teach. You know what it is? I think sometimes even when I teach my boys how to throw, they know how to throw, but then when it comes to a match, it's like they want to throw as far as they can, and then that causes a foul throw. Yeah.
That's correct. I also think that I've seen a lot of mistakes happening at when they're young at age. This might be due to the parent influence. So the quicker you take, they believe the quicker they can score a goal. But it's not that. It's totally, you should focus on yourself, ignore your parents, ignore your coach, what says. Because when you're on the pitch, it's 11 versus 11 or 9, whatever the size of the team is for. It's just you lot doing your thing. But that's very important. There's different referees and there are different aspects of it. A different referee like me, very strict on foul throws, whereas other referees at your age, on the 11s, under 10s, whatever team you coach, they might get away with things. That's where there's inconsistency. There's not very straightforward.
Yeah, I think that's everybody's frustration as a coach to a parent. You could have a good have a good referee like yourself who's very strict, and then the next week, oh, that's a foul throw, it's a foul throw, ref, and then he doesn't really care.
He doesn't.
The little things like someone's pulled his t-shirt and then they let it go, and then
next week you come and face, for example, a referee like myself, where I will give it away. I'll give a penalty due to the handball, or for example, where we go back for a couple of weeks ago, the guy handballed in the penalty box, and there was that. Oh, but last week I was like, I wasn't here last week. I don't know what happened. I'm here this week. I'm giving what I see.
Yeah.
Simple as that. And one of the things that respects and managers really admire is the respect that I have towards coaches. For example, I tell them, if I can't see it, I won't give it, no matter what you say. 99% of the time, I've refed your game, and I've also done your game, Michael. 99% of the time, I've been up to you. If I'm wrong somewhere, I'll come to you at the end of the game and I will tell you, I'll put my hands up and tell you, I should have let that play go on, I should have let this thing on. But if I'm not wrong, don't try to influence my decisions by getting your players to come and talk to me. When you start on a good feet with someone, on a good foot with someone, then you can have build that relationship, and that's how you get more games. Going back to your question, that's how I made the connections with coaches. So there's never a Saturday or Sunday where I'm free. As long as there's games, people, I've got contacts with other leagues, members coming to me asking, do you want to ref this game? Do you want to be at this part? That kind of stuff. But it's very important. You do your job correctly, then people respect you for that.
Yeah, no, definitely. I totally agree with that. So just a different thing now. How do you deal with, because I think coaches struggle dealing with parents as well, but I think the worst person dealing with parents is probably the referee. So how do you personally deal with the parents on the sidelines giving you abuse?
There's not much you can do, to be honest with you. As a referee, you're there to ignore them. Sometimes they will get to a heated argument, but the majority of the time they respect you for it because it's hard. But parents will always be parents because they always think that they're correct and we're wrong.
Yeah, no, definitely. Have you ever had a situation where you've had to go over to a parent and say,
Plenty.
Calm down?
Plenty. Which one do you want to use? There's been on the 16s, on the 15s. I've had plenty of them where parents go, oh, ref, you're making wrong decisions. And my always question is, do you want to do the job? You want to give me the money, what you owe me, what technically the league owes me, you come and do the second half. Because at the end of the day, you're doing there because you're getting paid. Let's be honest. At the end of the day, without the money, we wouldn't be there. As much as we say coaching, reffing, Sunday, Saturday leagues is not enough, we're doing that because we need to get paid. And it provides us a sort of income, if it makes sense.
Yeah, no, definitely. I totally agree with that. So, is there a specific age group that you like to do? Like Kevin said about, do you treat maybe decisions a little bit differently? Like you said, you're a little bit more lenient with the under 12.
Yeah.
Do you prefer maybe to do an older age group? Do you prefer a younger
Personally,
age group?
the way that I've seen things happen is I would rather prefer under 15s and upwards. And I've made it clear to the league, I've made it, wherever I've refed, I've made it clear. 15 upwards, because you have less parents attending, you have less arguments with the coaches. Players are aware what they can and can't do, majority of them, let's just be honest. But yeah, 15 and underwards, it's very difficult. Then you start having a lot of communication with parents and etc.
Yeah, so it's a tough one because there's not enough referees out there, personally, I don't think. But do you think people like you, a good referee is strict with decisions, needs to be dealing with the younger age group that are more developing rather than going to the older age groups and people where they understand the game a little bit more?
That's a hard question. In my personal point of view, I disagree. I think that it's up to the referee to choose which age group he should be entitled. Understand about the teaching aspects, but we're not there to teach them. That's why the coaches are there. That's why the parents are there. They're there to teach their own kids and their own players. Whereas we're there to manage a game, not getting heated, not having a fight in the section.
Yeah, no, definitely, I totally agree.
Mm-hmm.
It's a hard one because, like I said, there isn't enough referees out there, and there's not enough good referees out there as well. Listen, I've experienced over the 5 years of coaching, older age groups, younger age group, there isn't enough referees.
But that's the argument that you would have towards a coach as well. There's never a fully qualified coach, like a UEFA B, UEFA A coach, or level 2, etc. Because it's a hard enough getting into it, let alone progressing within it.
Yeah, definitely.
Fortunately enough, I've had the opportunities, even last year, I've had the opportunities to progress. However, the only reason that has let me down is my decisions, my priorities wasn't in refereeing.
Interesting. Even though you said sometimes people have come up to you before a game saying, "Oh, it's important." Da, 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 da. Has anyone ever tried a little bribe?
I think that's left with that answer, to be honest with you. You always have individuals who think they can be smarter than you. But at the end of the day, it's hard. It's hard not to go against it, but you have to. I've had opportunities where people go, towards the end of the season a couple of years ago, they're like, "Oh, we need to win it. If we win it, we'll get you a cup of tea."
A cup of tea?
You know.
Yeah. Cup of tea,
Well,
cup of tea.
A cup of tea, which just used it there. I was like, we can't, obviously. I didn't, to make it clear on the camera, I didn't accept it, but we've had a few of them.
He didn't accept the cup of tea.
Accepted something else, but it wasn't a cup of tea accepted.
I accepted the game, but not a cup of tea. But, yeah. It's very important to stay professional. Because imagine if you went and played against a team, they offered you to lose the game because they wanted to win. Would you accept it? That's the question that you need to. Well, at the end of the day, we're all Michael, I know you would, but we're all there.
Yeah, he would.
Okay, I know you would, but come on. We're all there to stay professional and do our job in the correct manner. Because at the end of the day, you might end up losing your license because of one silly, dumb decision.
Yeah, no, 100%. So,
so to answer your question, no, I didn't accept it.
I think we've made that quite clear.
We need to clarify that one clearly.
What do you think's been the worst situation you've had to deal with as a coach at a youth level?
Ref.
I mean, sorry, referee. I don't know how to say coach.
Don't worry. It was a game in Ealing. I'm not gonna mention the team because of data protection and everything. It was a game in Ealing where it turned into a fight. When I say fight, it was a brutal fight.
What age group was that?
This was the under 18s. It was because you know how hormones hit and everything. The individual think they're bigger than the club and everything. It was a brutal fight, and they started to come against each other. It got to a point where one came with a knuckle duster. He grabbed it from his bag and it just literally started. Thank the Lord and everything. The situation got de-escalated. Player rightfully got a red card. League was reported and everything from it, and so on. That's one of the worst scenarios. There've been other arguments, but there's just handbags and everything thrown at each other. I was like, dude, at the end of the game, it's just not on my page. But yeah, that's the worst one.
So, like you said, you want to do 15s and upwards, but Me personally, if I was a referee, and I've refereed a couple of games myself, but me personally, if I was a referee and I dealt with something like that under 18s,
I loved it.
But why would you want
I
to go
loved
back
it.
though? Is the
I loved
question.
it. It's the energy, the adrenaline, the food that feeds you. For me personally, I love dealing with all the teams and all the individual players because you can see a lot of talent. You can see a lot of players that have the potential to make it. And I do adult leagues as well. So I'm very used to controlling them. And at the end of the day, if they're going to fight, they're going to fight. Nothing to do with me. I'm just going to be honest with you, I'm going to stand there, let them fight, let them argue. I'm not going to get involved. At the end of it, then I will have my discussion with each player in part of it, which I did. I resulted in 4 red cards and 5 yellows.
So you're quite happy is what you're saying?
I was enjoying.
That's like the World Cup for
That was
Holland
amazing.
and who?
Well, that was amazing.
Holland and Portugal.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Who's
4
the
red cards and
Euros
5
or
yellows.
something.
But you're there, one for you, one
One
for you.
yeah, there you go.
And to be fair, neither of the managers had anything to say.
Mm.
At the end of it, both of them shook hands, took their place off. 2 of the red, 2 from each team, took them off. The yellows stayed on, and that's it.
So
That was the most
yeah.
scenario case. That was the worst one ever. Fortunately enough, I haven't been that far yet. Don't want to go to that point yet.
So with regarding saying how you like it, etc., etc. You want to check that? Sorry. Your best case scenario, you have a game, it flows easy, no bad fouls.
Do you want
No, it's
to? Nice.
Yeah.
Should just stop.
no, it's alright. Just take that. Let's just give that little message. Everything goes well, no bad fouls. Managers, parents, if they are there,
Yeah.
are okay. Is that a boring game for you?
To be honest with me, that's a good game.
Mm.
I'll classify those as a good game.
Mm.
I'm not there to clear it out. I'm not there for arguments. I'm not there to get players sent off or anything. I'm there to do my job. And in those scenarios, that's a good game. That's me doing my job, because it is a job. That's doing my profession, and that's me doing what I want to do as a individual. So it's not a boring game.
It's a good day at the office.
It's a good day at the office. Everyone's happy. We shake hands. I go my way, and at the end of the day, whatever happens in the ground in a football match, I leave it behind. I don't take it away with me.
Okay.
Because it doesn't affect me. The players know that football is football.
Mm.
At the end, you're not gonna take it after you see me in the road or you see me in the street. They're not gonna come after me because that's what their mistakes.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised though. I've seen a couple of coaches out there that are quite aggressive and even said to referees out there, "You're watching the car park and stuff like that."
I've had that. I've had that. I'm gonna be honest. When I first started, I've had that. But as time develops and as you develop as an individual, coaches will understand how you operate as a referee. Because 95.5 times of the year, I might see you in 2 weeks. I might see you in a month's time. Do you understand?
Mm.
Yeah, it's understandable, but what I'm saying is it's easy for you to say that because you're a grown man and you've been refereeing for 5 years, but how can you expect a 16-year-old kid who's just qualified as a referee
Well, then that's
to referee to referee between 2 men of coaches?
But then that's where you need to be understandable and you need to ask yourself one simple question: is refereeing right for me?
Yeah, but you shouldn't have to go through that as a referee.
You should, because you have to go through that as a coach as well, don't you?
Well,
Because you're gonna have a coach that one day you're gonna be, you know what, he didn't like the way you operated or something. He doesn't like you. He's gonna go watch outside or something.
Yeah, but I think it's less towards coaches. I think because more coaches are towards their teams.
Yeah.
It does get a little bit of an altercation every now and then. But
I've seen coaches go at coaches.
Yeah, 100%.
Let's just clarify that one out for the camera and everything.
No, of course it happens, and it shouldn't happen. But what I'm saying is it happens a lot with referees and young referees, and I've seen it happen before.
It's just verbals. To me, I can't speak for every coach out there. Sorry, every referee out there. To me, it's just verbals.
Yeah.
So it's just words, and words, sticks and stones don't break your bones, as they say in here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you can't. What I'm saying is that people are moaning that there's not enough referees out there.
But then again, coaches and other parents are driving the referees away.
Well, exactly, and that's what I'm saying.
It's a catch-22. No one can win.
It's verbal, you're just saying, but then the referee who's experienced that verbal probably sometimes has a full-time job. Sometimes if they're young, they have uni or stuff like that. Like they don't need to experience that. They just want to go home.
Well,
they want to make some money.
It's the life that we're living in. We can't stop it. We'll never ever stop it.
Yeah, but
it's the same issue with racism. It's the same issue with other aspects of life. Is the culture that we've brought ourselves into. If we're getting into it, but it's this. We're gonna have to go through that. We're gonna have to be going through people who are saying they're not happy with the decision we make, because the way you see it, it's not the same way. Because you see it in your point of view as a coach. You see it as your coach, the opposite team. So there's always gonna be arguments. And me as an individual, I see it as one way with the laws of the game. If your hand's there, we're going back to handball. If your hand's there, penalty. If it's there, according to the new laws of the game, it's a penalty. We're saying if they're in the box or it's a foul, or same thing.
Yeah.
Does it make sense? So
yeah.
Going back to your question is that young coaches, young referees will get targeted because their decision can be influenced easily. And I've seen that, and I hate it. As a referee with 5 years or more experience, I hate it.
Yeah.
Because I feel that individuals shouldn't be targeted because of their age. It should be targeted. If even they should be targeted, it's because of their decision. And I've said to a coach, I said, if I make a decision wrong, instead of you calling me all such names, come and talk to me.
Yeah, 100%.
You'll have my respect more than anything else.
Yeah.
And if I agree with you, and I'll put my hands up and I'll say, sorry, I made a mistake there. For example, I give you a classic example. Team was going all the way attack. I called the whistle because of a foul. They came to me, they were like, if you let play on, we would have scored. I said, my apologies. The way I saw it is you didn't have the ball at that time where I called the whistle. So like, fair enough, you're being a bigger man of explaining it to us. We take your apologies. And at the end of the day, we shook hands and we all died down.
I was gonna say, but them boys that are like 16, 17, I think some even look younger, I don't know. But those type of boys,
well, yes, you can't do 2 years above your age group. So
okay.
If you're 16, as far as I'm aware with the laws with the refereeing, you can't do above your age.
Okay.
So you always have to do under your age group.
Yeah, that's why I've seen them. Yeah.
So if you're 14, you only can do 11s, 12s, and 13s. As far as I'm, don't quote me on this or anything, but that's as far as I'm aware.
Yeah. So when I've seen them refereeing, I don't think people try to take advantage because of their age. I just think people take advantage because they're not assertive in what they do. If it's a foul, sometimes they're thinking about it way too long, and then the parents or the coach will be like, foul, and then they will make their decision. But if they're assertive from the beginning, I think a lot of people will pay them much more respect. But I think people are aware of their age and sometimes don't go overboard, but at the same time they feel, well, if you're doing this, at least be assertive.
Be straight with your decisions.
Yeah.
Well, one thing that I love to see, and I'm seeing recently, is the new initiative that the FA bringing out with the young referees. They're bringing the armbands to them to identify them as a young referee, and I'm loving that because coach can clearly see he's young, he's inexperienced, he's gonna make the decisions wrong. Give him a chance, let him progress. Same with the coach, a young coach will make a decision wrong on selection and section, team play and everything. Same as a referee, we're all humans at the end of the day. No one's perfect. I'm not going there. I'm not going to a game going, yeah, guys, I know everything. No, I'll be honest with you. If I don't know something, and if I'm not sure, I won't call it. Simple as that. Whereas you get some referees that will try to call it, but they cannot sell it.
Yeah.
It's all about selling a decision. Like you lot sell a dream to a player, we sell you a decision that we might think is right, 90% is right, but there might be a chance because everyone sees it in a different way.
Yeah. No, definitely, I totally agree. So, something a little bit different. What do you find with linesmen then? Obviously, you being a fully qualified referee.
I hate it.
With the two neutral linesmen from, well, not neutral, but one from each team. How does that?
I hate it. Personal opinion, professional opinion, I hate it. Like, if it was my way, I'd rather bring two professional, qualified individuals who went through the course, who are unbiased, to do the lines.
Yeah, but
unfortunately,
we haven't got enough referees, let alone two linesmen
so
as
you're
well.
asking me how I feel against that,
Yeah.
for it. I'm telling you,
So,
I hate it.
so how do you deal with that on a Sunday then? What do you say to a linesman before you give him the flag? Obviously, it's going to be apparent. So what do you say to him, like, before you give him it? Do you give him instructions of what you want him to do, or you just give it to him and walk off?
Two things: left, right, and up.
Okay.
Simple as that. The simpler you keep it, the better they will do the job. I've come to understand that, because they want to get more involved, but they do not have the understanding of how to operate correctly. If it makes sense.
Yeah.
So the more they evolve, the more mistakes they will get. The more mistakes they will make, the more impact they will have on my decision. And also, when I speak to them, I bring both of them in, and I've done your games, Michael and Kevin. I bring both of them in. I say, you know your team, you know your team. Simple as that. I went left, right, and up. By up, I mean offsides, clearly.
Mm.
If I go against you, don't take it to heart. This is literally my script every single Sunday and Saturday. If I go against you, do not take it to heart. Simple as that. And then they are aware that he's going to go against me. And he's already warned me that if I go against you, don't take it to heart. What else do I want you to do?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, have you ever got like an experience of where, I don't know, sometimes you've done that, they've made a wrong decision, where they've given offside, for
Never.
instance,
Never.
and you haven't gone against them. Well, you've gone against them, sorry, so they've put the flag up
Yes.
and you said play on,
Yes.
and they've said, oh ref, how's that not
Never.
offside?
Never.
You never had that?
For the last touch wood. Oh, touch wood. Well,
Mm-hmm.
never for the last 5 years.
Wow.
Because you warned them. I'm grown enough and I'm more experienced enough to understand that if you warn someone, they will take away a pinch of salt. As in, they will understand that you will go against them. And I inform them 99% of the time, I'll go with you, but there might be a percentage where I go against you, so don't take it out.
Yeah, no, definitely. I totally agree. It's hard because you watch the game totally to where the two linesmen watch the game as well. Because
I see nowadays them more than ever. They're like the third or fourth coach.
Yeah.
The parents.
Yeah, normally the coach would give it to the parents.
So now I'm more of, they're given to the parents, so he understands the offside. So any issues that they've got, he can get the players over to be onside or etc.
Yeah.
So it's very weird, and they will always go with their club. They will never go against. I've had one parent who always went against the club, and I respected him. He took my whole respect, and I said to him, I admire what you did throughout the game. I fully respect you, and I wish there were more people like you, because every decision he gave was correct, and 50% of them was against the club. By that I meant in counter-attack.
Yeah.
And he was like, nope, it was onside.
So, we're back. We're back
Again.
I've got one more question for you, and
Go on.
how do you fitness wise when you do 9-a-side, 11-a-side? Is it a problem for you, or do you feel, especially maybe like in under 18 games or something, do you feel like you need to be fitter?
Currently, no. Going in the future, I can see where the question is, because when you hit level 4, you have to do a test, a sprint test. You have to do 5k in 12 minutes.
5k 12 minutes?
Apparently, or something. Don't quote me.
No way.
Somewhere around there where they have to do fitness tests and everything going forward. But right now, I feel that I'm very up to date with my decisions. I'm very up to date with that. Because of my experience allows me to assume as well. But not going to totally on assumption, but very, very eye-catchy on the ball and everything. So currently fitness is not an issue.
I think it's quite easier for you or any good referees that are out there, because it's about reading the game. Like, listen, if you don't know the game well and you're running up and down, it gets a little bit harder for you. But I think if you know the game and you know, listen, for the first 5 minutes of a game, it's quite hard to predict. But you know after 5 minutes,
you see how the teams play out.
Yeah.
So majority of the time, there's always one team that will always control the game, as we put it forward. And then after that, it's very easy to read fouls. You can identify who the foulers are within the first 5 minutes. A good referee should be able to pinpoint exactly who's going to make a tackle, who's going to cause the team trouble, and who's the talkative one. And during that point, you can start to communicate with the players. The more communication you have with the players, the more so-called friendly they are towards you, which will result in the less back chat they will give you.
Yeah. Do you find then like obviously because within like the Harrow Youth League, for instance, like you've got obviously Premier Division, you've got Division 6. Do you find that there's maybe more running in the top division or more running in the lower division because of the type of football, or because how good the players are? Maybe the ability levels are a little bit different.
Personally, I find it every referee is different, so I can't speak for everyone. I can speak about my own experience. So personally, I find it the lower you go, the inexperienced the players are. The more inexperienced, the more mistakes. The more mistakes will make more decisions that I have to make. But more running as well. So the lower the league goes, like level 5, 6, 3, whatever, Premier Division, you can keep up because you know the ball's going to come. Unless some guy's going to make a mistake, you know you're going to go run all the way towards the pitch for a corner or throw in, etc. Whereas the lower the division, the more fouls they will give out in this section. So you need to run and be up to date more. But currently, for fitness level, I'm alright, hopefully. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, okay. I think that's a wrap for myself. No questions from you?
No, we'll wrap it up there.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
It's been my pleasure coming here. Hopefully, you'll come again. If you guys invite me in. But yeah, it's been great, guys. But keep up the good work and everything that you're doing. Making a difference out to the community.
The community. Yeah, the community.
Grassroots community, guys. Come on.
Come on.
Thank you, guys.
We'll wrap it up there. We'll see you next week. We've got another special guest coming in. Laters.
This is a little. Alright, get out of here now.
You're super cool. Alright, guys.
See you later.
Enjoy yourself. Best team.